Good morning and happy Wednesday. I'm Meteorologist Caitlyn Lorr with a quick update on your forecast. We are starting off with some foggy conditions, but that's going to be clearing up, leaving us with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures themselves rising into the mid-70s for a high of 74 degrees by this afternoon. From there, temperatures will slowly but surely drop back into the 60s going into late tonight and eventually the 50s. But I know the question right now is really on those leaves and when are we going to see those beautiful colors that we always look forward to in the fall. Now, keep in mind we're only seeing a couple of pockets of areas that are reaching 50 to 75% of the trees reaching peak, and that's up in far northwestern Minnesota and a small section along the north shore just north of Duluth there. Everywhere else is kind of ranging between that 10 to 50 percentile range of the trees starting to kind of reach peak color. Now, one thing that kind of helps, or I should say two things that help those leaves change colors, are the shorter day lengths or the less amount of daylight we see, which also coincides with cooler temperatures overall, especially in the overnight hours. Now, the shorter day lengths kind of trigger the trees to go into that transitional stage from the summer months or summer season to the winter season. So trees kind of make that full transition through the month of fall. When trees start making that transition, they are no longer producing chloroform, which is what is produced during the process of photosynthesis. When that chemical process starts slowing down, coming to an end, that stops leading to those vibrant green colors that we see in the trees, on the leaves in the spring and summertime. When that process starts kind of tapering off and is no longer occurring, that's when those trees start to lose that green as other chemical processes start taking action, making that transition from summer to winter continue. As that does that, we start to lose the green and we start to see the other pigments come forward. And we're talking those colors of purples and reds and browns, yellows and oranges. All of those start coming together. And again, the reason for that is one, shorter day length or daytime hours, and cooler temperatures overnight. That kind of helps kickstart that process that we so long to live to see through the early to middle of fall. That kind of kicks off our excitement going into that cooler weather. So if you're expecting to see trees really popping anytime soon, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, especially because we've got some warmer weather on the way. But tonight, we will see some cooler temperatures. That'll kind of help with those leaves. You might see a few more colors starting to pop after today, with temperatures dropping to a low of 52 degrees by tomorrow morning. Now, the things that'll kind of help prevent those leaves from changing colors a little bit quicker is the moisture that we've been dealing with in the sense of fog through the overnight hours into the early morning hours, which we could see again tonight into tomorrow morning. And like I said, warmer temperatures, which we will see after today. We're looking at highs in the low 80s by tomorrow afternoon. From tomorrow through the middle of next week, we're looking at temperatures anywhere from the upper 70s, but more so in those low 80s. The good news is we are not looking at humidity out there with this little bit of a warm-up, so our dew points are going to stay from 60 degrees or cooler. Remember, the warmer the dew point temperature is, the more you're going to feel that humidity. The closer the dew points are to the temperatures, the also more you're going to notice that humidity. That's when it really starts to feel sticky out there, and things like that, especially in the summertime. You can get those dew points and temperatures to be almost identical in the wintertime, and that means that there's moisture out there. You just don't have that sticky feeling like we get in the summertime, because dew points in the summertime, when that happens, are typically in the 70s and 80s, where dew points in the winters are going to be 60 degrees or far colder, typically in the 30s. So the warmer it is, the more it feels muggy out there. The closer the dew point and the temperature are, the more moisture there is overall. You just don't always feel that sticky feeling year round. You do in the summertime, you don't in the wintertime. The good news about this is we don't even have to worry about it, because yes, we've got some warmer temperatures on the way, but we don't have that humidity to make things feel quite gross out there. Here's what all of this looks like on your extended forecast. As mentioned, upper 70s, low 80s beyond today through the middle of next week. Get out there and take advantage of it. That's the biggest thing I can stress with this forecast, because We know that the impending winter is just around the corner. We're talking, cold temperatures, snow, which a lot of people don't like, along with the cold temperatures and those brutal winds that we typically get from time to time in the winter. All that's just around the corner, so the more you can take advantage of this wonderful weather of sunshine and highs in the low 80s, the more you'll be able to enjoy going into the fall and winter months knowing that you didn't waste a day of sunshine and warm weather. That's actually all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. You can get more details on your forecast with meteorologist Daniel Sawicki and Chief Meteorologist Sean Cable later this afternoon and evening. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody.